Well, it's another day in the life of being a carnivore, and my wife has been joining me now for a little over a month on Carnivore. She hasn't been 100% strict, but she's done enough to where she's been able to see some real differences in the way she feels, and her weight loss and her overall attitude about everything has been better, and it has been really miraculous to see, because it's encouraging. It's encouraging to see my family getting involved in what I've been talking about now for 3.5 years. They've been getting better in general at cutting out the processed food, but she has seen amazing changes in just the short month that she's been doing this with regard to pain. She's had chronic neck pain for years, and she's finally seeing some relief in that area. And she's been exercising more too, because she's been in Taekwondo here in Dunnellon, and that's been increasing her flexibility and a number of other things. She's walking behind the camera. She's still not very camera hungry yet, but she's been seeing a lot of changes, and it's been very exciting to see. Do you want to share anything about that experience since you're here?
I feel better.
She's a big talker, you know, she just goes on and on. Actually, she is a talker. That's what's funny. She's just camera shy talker. She likes to talk in person. Me, I talk all the time. It doesn't matter. I never stop talking. But I'm getting a couple of steaks ready for us to eat so that we can continue our day. It's getting close to noon. This is our first meal of the day, which is kind of miraculous for me too. I usually want to eat early, but I've been not having hungry, and I eat when I'm hungry. That's my focus, is not 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. I eat when I'm hungry. Most of the time that winds up being 2 meals a day. Today I'm using, for people who always ask, I'll be using the Typhur Dome, which I really like for its extra space inside the cooking area. I do usually like to, well, let me go ahead and do it since I'm wanting to do this the right way. Typhur does make their own thermometer. I like the Meter Plus. I've been using that for a while now. So I'm going to use that to judge the temperature on these while we're waiting on these ones to cook. Stick it in here. So one thing I do like about the Dreo Chef Maker a little better is the fact that the temperature probe is built in. It's a smaller temperature probe, which I like also. But when you add the temperature probe to the Typhur Dome, you get a lot more space, you get a faster cooking time. And then when you don't overcook it because of the temperature probe, I really like it. So I just set it on broil at 450 degrees. I set it for 12 minutes because I know that should be enough. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the Meter Plus through the Meter app. So it'll let me know before it's ready to come out. It'll give me like a 5-minute heads up that it should be ready. It's been interesting bringing Katie into this way of eating, because I've been kind of making the meat for both of us now for a while. It's just, I'm used to doing it. So it's something that's made it easy for her to transition. I'm glad I'd already made the transition so that it would be easier for her. And I know a lot of you who have been doing a carnivore diet now for a while, you struggle with the fact that people that you love are not doing this kind of thing. But it really takes a moment in time where they look at something in their life, or they get a health scare that really kind of says, you know what, I need to make something different happen. I'm not going to go into detail on what made her want to change, but I do know that she realized she needed to do something, and it's already paying dividends in only the first month. One of these days she's going to join me on here regularly. I know you guys saw her last year when she did a bit of a carnivore diet for about 30 days, but she wasn't nearly as disciplined as she has been this past 30 days or so. It's been a little more than 30 days. We didn't really even mark it down. She just started off saying, I'm going to do this for 3 days. I'm going to focus on 3 days so I can stay disciplined about that. And then when she got to her 3 days, she said, okay, I'm going to do it for 3 more days. And then she had a hiccup somewhere along the way. I forget, she might have had like a euro or something like that while she was out. But then she got right back on track. Overall, she's been staying very disciplined at it, and it's paying off. So this should be a good example of how quickly this Typhur Dome cooks something. Currently, the Meter Plus says 26 minutes. It's already dropped to 22 minutes since I looked at it a second ago. And there's 4 minutes left on my 12-minute timer over there. So we'll see how quickly this unit heats this thing up. Now it's already dropped to 19 just since I've been talking. You know, and I still love the Dreo Chef Maker for what it's able to do. Not only can it cook a steak very quickly like this, but it has the ability to cook the steak to the right temperature and it's very delicate in how it brings it up to that temperature. It keeps more moisture in the meat than other ones. And you've got two different settings. You've got a classic setting and you've got the sous vide setting. The problem with either classic or sous vide is they do take more than 15 to 20 minutes for classic, and even for the sous vide can take well over an hour in some cases, because it's really raising the temperature slowly. So you get a better overall cook, but sometimes I just don't have time for that. Most every day I don't have time for that. I need something that's going to get it done quick. And that's what I like about the Typhur Dome. Not only does it go to 450, just like the Chef Maker does, but it also has a very small compartment for cooking the meat that is very wide. So I can fit 3 or 4 good-sized steaks in this unit at one time, and because of that small compartment in there, it's able to cook a lot faster. It also has a self-cleaning feature that I've only used once so far. I'm reluctant to talk about the self-cleaning feature until I have seen it really in action more than once. You know, I've been cooking in there for a good month now.
Oh, it looks pretty clean considering how much I've cooked on it. It's hard to really tell with this angle, but it doesn't look bad. But I've used it a lot. I would have thought it would have had more splatter up there or something.
And I've used it one time to do self-cleaning. It looks clean as it can be. So we'll see how that continues as we go. But I can tell you this. For people who keep asking about the air fryers I've used, I have 3 models that I've used over the past few years that I have been happy with. One of them is by Power XL, one of them has been the Dreo Chef Maker, and so far I'm really enjoying the Typhur Dome. I have all 3 of those models available on my website at ferrignofreedom.com, where you can use a link to get your own. It really kind of depends on what your needs are. If you need something inexpensive, the Power XL is the way to go. It's not going to hold up as well as maybe the Typhur Dome or even the Dreo Chef Maker is going to. It's not going to have the advanced AI that the Dreo Chef Maker does. It's not going to be as fast as the Typhur Dome, but it'll get you in the door. If you're looking for something that's going to make cooking easy for you, the Dreo Chef Maker is the way to go. If you're looking for something that can cook more quickly, then the Typhur Dome might be the way to go. But they're respectively about double in price as you go up from the Power XL to the Dreo Chef Maker to the Typhur Dome. The other thing is with the Typhur Dome, you got to consider if you're going to be buying a temperature probe. So not only is it more expensive up front, but then you got another $100 to $200 you're going to spend on a wireless temperature probe if you want to have some of the simplicity you get with the Dreo Chef Maker. Still not as simple as the Dreo Chef Maker overall, because it does everything for you on autopilot, and I have to keep an eye when I'm cooking something like this. As a matter of fact, I got to add some time before it runs out. It was just about to get to 0, and the meter says I got 10 minutes left. So cooking 2 steaks takes a little longer than cooking 1. 12 minutes is usually more than enough. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a quick rundown because I've been getting a lot of questions about air fryers that I use. And personally, I still think that this diet would have been impossible for me to fit into my daily life without the air fryer. When I got to get the day going, when I got to get started on what I've got to do for the day, the air fryer is often my choice because it makes life easier. Also, for a lot of people who have been talking about things with the air fryer with regard to the non-stick coating, I think your biggest concern from everything I've been able to research really has to do with whether or not that non-stick coating gets chipped or scratched or anything like that. I've been using the Chef Maker for well over a year now, and I don't have any chipping or scratching going on in here. The Power XL, I had a lot going on within the first year. I had to swap out the inside tray because it was already going to junk within 2 or 3 months. I haven't noticed anything like that with the Typhur, but again, it's only been a short period of time. The other thing is that people have told me about antimony being a problem when it comes to their air fryers. And I had never heard of antimony before somebody shared a YouTube video, and my sister-in-law shared it with me because she was concerned about it. So I said, okay, well, you know, if anybody's going to have high antimony in their blood, then it would be me, because I've been eating out of an air fryer of some kind now for over 3.5 years, sometimes twice a day. And I got the blood work back, and you can see here that it's completely normal. I don't have any issues with it when it comes to antimony. I've even gotten checked for other metals because people were complaining that Redmond salt had lead in it. All minerals are going to have some trace minerals of these different things in there. And some of the reports I've seen complain that there's too much lead in that product, and it's going to cause you to be getting high amounts of lead in your system. As much Redmond salt as I eat, if anybody was going to have high lead from it, it would be me. But again, you can see my results were completely normal. After 3.5 years of eating Redmond salt on a regular basis, eating out of an air fryer on a regular basis, I'm not having any issues with the stuff that people are complaining about. I think a lot of this is simply other companies bad-mouthing other companies, other salt manufacturers wanting to put down Redmond, other air fryer manufacturers wanting to put down the ones that use nonstick coating. I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you what my experience has been. And so far, my experience has been great. So you can see I had to restart it again. That's one of the issues that I was talking about when it comes to the Dreo Chef Maker, is the Dreo Chef Maker is not gonna stop until it's cooked to the right temperature. And you don't have to be there to monitor it when it does stop. It'll let you know on your phone when it's done, so that way you can come get it out. I will say you want to get it out quickly, because the longer you leave it in there with all that heat, the more it's going to cook. As a matter of fact, your steak typically cooks just taking it out. It'll still cook for another 5 or 6 minutes while it's in what you call rest mode. It still says 4 minutes left here. Cooking 2 full ribeyes in under 20 minutes is pretty darn good. Normally I would have to use 2 Dreo Chef Makers to do that. 1 minute remaining. Temperature's at 123 degrees on the inside. It doesn't cook it all the way to 140 because, like I said, it accounts for the fact that it's going to cook more even in resting mode. Even when it's not left inside the air fryer, it's going to continue to rise in temperature after it reaches a certain temperature. So that's what the Meter Plus does, and that's what other temperature probes do as well, is they take into account that the temperature is going to keep rising for a few minutes after your cook, and it's going to let you pull it out at the right time for it to reach the internal temperature you want when it's done resting. A lot of people don't know that the internal temperature is the key to getting rare, medium rare, and all of that. It does not have anything to do with how pink it is on the inside. It has to do with the temperature on the inside. And using temperature probes just makes that more accurate if you want to get perfectly done medium rare. And there it is. It just told me to remove from heat. And you can see how they come out looking nice and crispy on top. That's one of the things I like about cooking at 450 degrees, is you get a really nice crispy exterior. My wife loves that, I know. And then you still get it done just the way you want on the inside. Now I don't want to pull the thermometer out just yet because it's still measuring the temperature while it's in resting mode. And I like that it actually lets me know when the resting is through. That's one thing you don't get on the Dreo Chef Maker. It doesn't tell you when to stop resting. It's continuing to measure temperature, and it's going to let you know when it's ready to eat. So there are benefits both ways, as I mentioned before. It's going to come down to what fits your budget better and what fits your household needs better. If you have more people eating, I would say the Typhur Dome and some temperature control unit. That's if you need the extra assistance. I would recommend it because it's really easy to overcook, and with the prices of steaks these days, I don't want to overcook anything. If you don't need the extra space and you want the convenience, then the Dreo Chef Maker is a wonderful option at about half the price of the Typhur Dome. And then at about half the price of the Chef Maker, you have a Power XL model that'll do the job that you're looking for and not cost you an arm and a leg. Ooh, I don't want to waste any of this fat, I'll tell you that. Pour it right on top there. Katie likes it too. And this is one of the things that is nice about air fryers. You get to retain all the juices. When you cook on a grill, a lot of the juices wind up in the flames. And after washing it in the sink for just a moment, using a sponge to go over the top, clean as a whistle. And it is dishwasher safe too. All of them are dishwasher safe. Of course, don't put the whole unit in the dishwasher, just the tray. So you can put both pieces inside the dishwasher. Should be done any second here because it's already reached enough temperature. So if you do want to know more about the Dreo Chef Maker or the Power XL, I have videos where I've used both of those extensively that you can look up here on my channel. I will have some more information about the Typhur Dome as I get more familiar with it. All I can say is I really enjoy using all of them. I would recommend the Meter Plus probe. I like the Typhur probe. It's a bit more expensive than a Meter Plus, but you do get 2 of them or 4 of them, depending on which model you get. The Meter comes with 1 temperature probe, but they do make a block that has 4 separate temperature probes that you can get, and it's still about the price of the one that has 2 on the Typhur. Just depends on which one you like better. I like the Meter Plus overall is my favorite for the temperature probes. I couldn't tell you exactly which of the air fryers I like better. It just depends really on what my mode is at that particular moment, whether I need to hurry up and cook it or if I'm willing to wait. If I'm willing to wait, I like the Dreo Chef Maker. If I'm in a hurry or I got a lot of people I'm cooking for, I like the Typhur Dome. And if the cleaning feature, the self-cleaning feature on the Typhur Dome works out as good as they say it will, that's going to be a big plus. Because one of the reasons I usually wind up getting rid of air fryers is because they don't stay clean underneath that fan and coil area. After about a year of use, I wind up throwing out the air fryer just because it gets so filthy. I have been able to keep the Dreo very clean though, comparatively. The Power XL was very difficult to keep clean because there was no way to get inside the cage where the element and the fan were. You can reach the element and fan inside the Chef Maker, and you can reach the element and fan inside the Typhur Dome. So I think that kind of wraps up all the feature differences that I like about them. It's really going to come down to which one you think is going to suit your needs the best. Resting complete, so now it says that my steak is ready, and now my Meter Plus is ready for my next cook. It's got a magnet on the back so I can stick it on the fridge. Easy peasy. I'll see you guys next time. All right, honey, let's eat.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
Hey, it's Dante Ferrigno. I just wanted to thank you first of all for watching this video, but I also wanted to tell you about my merch shop. I have a link in the description for a bunch of different items I've put together for you to be able to show your support for the carnivore lifestyle, and every purchase helps me to keep doing what I'm doing here on Ferrigno Freedom.